The debacle that is the Diddy case is going all kinds of haywire, including the dismissal of one of the jurors. Now, the problem here is the reasons for said dismissal. Many people have been speculating for a long time that the juror may have been intimidated by Diddy, but there are other people that think, well, maybe, just maybe, the prosecution was right that he was lying about his situation the whole time in order to become a juror. And then the people say that's not the reason why he was dismissed. He was dismissed for something way more nefarious, and they may have questions about the prosecution's decision to release the man. So we're going to go through what they've been saying about them. The government is seeking to remove a juror from the Sean Diddy trial whose defense claim is among the panel's black members. I think you can see where this is about to go. Alexander Shapiro, one of Combs' attorneys, said that the government's attempt at removing the juror is a thinly veiled effort to dismiss a black juror. Prosecutors in the Diddy case, sex trafficking and racketeering trial, which is in its fifth week, have requested that a juror be dismissed, citing a lack of candor, meaning he was lying about something. Let's see what he's lying about. On Wednesday, June 11th, the lead prosecutor, Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey, remember that's James Comey's daughter, we talked about her, told the U.S. District Court Oren Subramanian outside the presence of the jury that it appeared to be a lack of candor with the court that raises serious issues with us. We did not want to do this, Comey said. We are compelled to do that. Okay, compelled. One of Combs' attorney, Alexander Shapiro, said the defense opposes removing the juror and said the government's attempt at doing so is a thinly veiled effort to dismiss the black juror. Subramanian said that he would address the matter by the end of the week after he had received written submissions from both sides. You think Diddy has a case in this? Let's find out. Now, listen. When we hear what the prosecution brings as a reason, we will find out whether or not it's valid and why would they take so long to figure it out, because I thought jury selection meant a very deep scrutinizing of every one of them. That's what I thought. Again, I'm not no legal expert. I'm just a black dummy. I'm just a dummy. 12 people, 8 men, 4 women were selected for a jury and half a dozen alternates. The jurors range from age of 30 to 74. Their identities are known to the judge and lawyers, but won't be made public. Among the 6 alternates, 2 are women, 4 are men. Combs, 55, pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges. Yes, of course. The question here is it a problem of race? Or is it a problem of him being a lack of candor guy? So here's what they say as to the lack of candor. Juror 6 had varied questions answered when he was given these specific questions when he was brought in. Initially, he said he lived in the Bronx with his fiancée and daughter. Later, he said he moved to New Jersey to live with girlfriend and daughter. Then, daughter lives in the Bronx with his aunt, and he spends 4 to 5 weeknights in New York City despite New Jersey license. So what they took that to mean was he was not forthcoming with his residency, making it seem as though that he was in a jurisdiction that would make him eligible for being a part of the jury. But if that was a lie, then he got there under false pretenses. If he did get there under false pretenses, then we have a major problem. I can see their point. However, would you not have verified that before you solidified him as a juror? Would you not have a whole lot more for him to bring forward to prove his residency? And I mean 100% prove his residency, as opposed to just taking his word, because it seems as though that's all they did was take his word. The juror was questioned about the discrepancies. Did he lie about that to the jury? The jury ruled inconsistent answers caused serious concerns about credibility and ability to serve, removal required, and recommended removal of juror number 6. Now, if Diddy's statement is true, that they did it only because he was black, they would have to prove some sort of racial bias outside of the facts of what he said he was doing, living, versus what was actually true. Diddy may not have a case in this one, and the removal of juror number 6 may actually be legit. That's yet to be decided because the judge hasn't ruled on it yet. So as soon as he rules on it, we're going to find out, and it's supposed to be over this weekend. But don't worry, it might end up being something that Diddy might end up harping on, especially if the juror that they replace him with isn't black. All that's still left to be decided, all that left to be seen. When we know more, you're going to know more. But it could lead to a lot of crazy stuff happening this next week, especially if the defense decides to use that as an attack against the prosecution, considering that Diddy himself is also black. Do not be surprised if they use some sort of a social spin on this to say that this is the persecution of a black man who didn't do nothing wrong. And if that goes that way, this could move from racketeering to prejudice and racism. And we all know how the social media works with that. So as soon as we know more, we're going to let you know it.